In a satellite phone interview with the same journalist, Nawab Bukti said, "It's better to die, as the Americans say, with your spurs on," he said, "instead of a slow death in bed. I'd rather death come to me while I'm fighting for a purpose." New York Times journalist Carlotta Gall, she was beaten up in Quetta by the intelligence services of Pakistan. She wrote an interesting article in the New York Times 5 years ago. She described the attack on Nawab Bukti in these words: "The military assault, a furious 3-day bombardment by attack jets, helicopter gunships, and airborne troops. On the evening of the 3rd day, the government triumphantly announced that Nawab Bukti had been killed. 32 Baloch tribesmen died with him. That very day, natural gas that is taken from the area, Dera Bukti, that natural gas was being taken hundreds of miles away to a military town in the Punjab. And there, General Musharraf, the dictator, the coup leader, who had subverted the constitution of Pakistan and who had subverted democracy, there the gas was being taken hundreds of miles away from Balochistan, and the Baloch people still have to go cook food, do their daily things on firewood. And then General Parvez Musharraf said, he told the soldiers, the commandos of the Pakistan army were not welcome in Balochistan. He told them, "Well done, boys." That's the irony of the situation. And when Nawab Akbar Khan Bukti was killed, the chapter of Pakistan in Balochistan was over. It had been long years of suffering, years of tears and blood, 7 decades. They had been doing all kinds of things with the people in Balochistan. I might say very honestly, if I had been living there back home, I might not have felt so revulsed. I might not have felt so shocked. But here, I've been living in the freedoms of the West for 15 years, where people have to respect one another, people have to coexist, people have to show compassion. We believe in diversity, we believe in pluralism, we believe in the right to pursuit of happiness. And so, to look back at what's happening in Balochistan sends me the jitters. Young people being abducted, their families not knowing where they have gone. Then all of a sudden, their bodies being thrown on the roadsides, in the villages, for so many months, so many years. The family go on knocking doors, asking where our loved one has gone. And Pakistan does not feel any obligation to give an answer. Just last month, a very prominent editor, an intellectual, Wahid Baloch. He was also an archivist and had been running the best Baloch library in Karachi. He was abducted, taken away by the Pakistani Inter-Services Intelligence. Now today is the 40th day. There is no word where Wahid Baloch has gone. Wahid Baloch is not the only case, and it is not the only first time. This has been happening over and over again. In 1973, 77, two of my cousins, my uncle, they were taken away. They were threatened with extreme third-rate kind of threats, like putting them to shame through sodomy. Today, what's happening is that young Baloch people who are abducted, I have reports, they are being fed feces. Is there any sense in that? Why do you have to treat any human in this undignified manner? I like to ask the generals of Pakistan who have subverted the constitution and democracy again and again, and they are the real rulers of the country, who gave them the right to come into our land, come into our homeland, and kill this great man. My salutes to him. My salutes to Nawab Akbar Bukti. Kill this great man. For what? For the reason that he said the Baloch resources, but Balochistan resources belong to the people of Balochistan. For what? He said the Gwadar port is a sacred property of the Baloch people, and that China has got no right to come into Gwadar. He was one of the first to warn about Chinese takeover of the Gwadar port. So, the generals who have got nothing to do with Baloch waters, they are far in the north. They don't know our sea lanes. They don't know our ports. Those ports, those sea lanes are by our people. We fought against the Portuguese. We very valiantly fought against the Portuguese. We challenged foreign invaders. Balochistan was the graveyard of the forces of Alexander the Great. So I am not sure how these jihadi generals in Punjab think they are going to get away with what they are doing. They can't. Balochistan is not an insulated territory, at least not in these days of Facebook and Twitter. Everything goes out in a few seconds, in a few minutes. Everything is public knowledge. How can they even think, how can they dream about that they will go on doing what they want to and no one is going to ask them? I must say that whatever Pakistan is doing, omnibus violations of the Geneva Conventions, omnibus violations, extrajudicial killings, arbitrary detention, enforced disappearances, kill and dump policy. After killing some people, they go and destroy their bodies, treat us like apostates were treated many, many centuries ago in Arabia. This is not Arabia. This is not 1400 years ago. This is this new age. How can you do that to us? I am standing here in this press club of the most powerful democracy in the world. And I'm pretty sure people here in this country are going to become a voice for Balochistan. I am extremely happy, I'm extremely grateful to India, the largest democracy, finally spoken for our rights. I am thankful to the Indian government, which has said very clearly to Pakistan that this is not how people should be treated, that they have to respect the Baloch right to life, the Baloch right to pursuit of happiness. Be ready here. Just have to run.
Chukki Balochani, ma chukki Balochani, chukki Balochani, ma chukki Balochani, chukki Balochani, ma chukki Balochani, chukki Balochani, ma chukki Balochani. Zami larzi, मैं भी मगला जगसा